Okay, so it's been a little bit over a month since I first received my DJI Mavic Pro. Now I live in New England, so I received it in December and the weather has been fairly mild for the winter time, but still pretty cold for flying a drone. Now, I've flown this thing in the White Mountains, which is 4 to 5,000 feet above sea level, which is what you're seeing right now. I've flown this thing across the ocean several times, 4 to 5 miles round trip. I've put the videos up so you can see those if you choose. And the Mavic has performed almost flawlessly. Any issues I've had have basically been pilot error, where I crashed it into a house at 45 miles an hour while testing out sport mode. This is me in my backyard flying this thing back and forth, doing 360s like that at 40 miles an hour. And this thing seriously has some speed to it. 45 miles an hour directly into my house. Check this out. Back and forth, low altitude, back and forth. I mean, it turns on a dime when in sport mode, but I am flying, no pun intended. I'm doing low flyovers right over my head. And it's just amazing how fast this thing is. And with all the bells and whistles, all the controls and everything, it really makes you look good. But here we go. Ready? That's it. 45 miles an hour right into my house. And all I suffered was a couple of broken propellers, which was an easy enough fix because knowing how I am with things, I stocked up. I believe I've bought 10 pairs of propellers so far. 10 sets, I should say. So I've probably bought 40 sets of 40 propellers in all thus far. The only issues I've had with the Mavic, as you can see, I'm following a ship right here and I'm probably 2 miles offshore. I've never lost the battery. I've never lost the signal. This thing performs as advertised. It's utterly amazing. And like I said, the entire time I'm flying this, it's in pretty cold weather. After I crashed it, I had this effect where everything looked like jello. But that was a fairly easy fix. I simply went on YouTube. I went to one of the DJI forums or Facebook page, actually, DJI owners Facebook page, and I found the fix. The gimbal had simply slid out of its little bracket. I gently put it back in, and it worked like a champ. The only other issue I've had was this. Somehow, the Mavic managed to find itself in propeller guard on mode, which I don't know how that occurred. I don't recall setting it, but this was me videotaping it because it was shimmying incredibly bad. The entire unit was vibrating back and forth. And once I turned the propeller guards off, it worked like a champ. I've gotten amazing footage like this right here, which is absolutely astounding, absolutely amazing how far and how fast and how well this thing flies, and all for about 27 minutes. That's at below 40 degrees and sometimes in the teens. I've flown it out over the ocean numerous times because being a rookie, I don't realize that this thing could fall out of the sky at any time, but I don't care. This was my first drone ever. I scored it on eBay for $1,600 with 2 batteries and a carrying case. But I got it on December 14th, well before most people did, but not as early as some people did. This was flying it in the snow. It was raining out, and once again, this flight ended with a crash. But I flew this out and got this amazing footage up in the White Mountains on the Kangamangas Highway where I was trying to follow this stream. And I was nervous about flying between the trees, but I still did it. I can't even see the drone. I'm over here someplace. And with the crash avoidance, the sonar, the infrared, this thing flies like a dream. This is in get home mode where it's at 350 feet, it's coming back and it's up in the fog. And then when I get it back to where I launched it from, I start fooling around with sport mode once again. That's me, the big dope. I start messing around with sport mode. My hands are already freezing. So I start zipping around the empty parking lot, as you can see, and it ends up ass backwards in a tree. Just like that. And it still worked like a champ. This thing is amazing. 45 miles an hour into the side of my house. All I did was dislodge the gimbal, which was an easy repair, and replaced 4 propellers because that one took a beating. When it hit the tree, I only lost 1 propeller. And that was flying backwards straight into a tree. Yep. And it still worked like a champ. If you hold on a second, you'll get a good up my nose view. There we go. Good to go. Mavic Pro. Now, this is amazing footage near my house. This island is 1.5 miles offshore. These guys are 8 miles out to sea. And the Mavic takes phenomenal video as long as you remember to tap to focus, which I do pretty often, but sometimes I forget, much like everyone else. Amazing footage. Flying on the island in cold weather, no problem. Now, this one right here, I'm at the top of a mountain. I'm at 4,000 feet already, and I send it up above the clouds, which is just phenomenal. It came down with a little bit of condensation on it, but it flew like a champ, no problem. I go right up into the cloud cover, and I'm already at 4,000 feet. Amazing, absolutely amazing. And this is all for my first drone. I had one of those $100 white drones, the one with the little battery that lasts about 3 hours. I launched that, and it instantly went straight up and then landed several thousand feet away at the beach, and I pretty much tossed it in the trash. But the Mavic can make anybody that does content creation like I do, or anyone that enjoys the outdoors like I do, it allows you to get a perspective that you would never normally get. I mean, that is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And other than dislodging the gimbal, which is my own fault, the broken propellers, which are my own fault, or the propeller guard switch being turned to on, which I never did. I don't know how that occurred. Perhaps it was user error, but I'm not very sure. This thing is well worth every single solitary cent, and it's tough as nails. It amazes me how tough this little guy is. And it gets phenomenal footage. At any rate, please like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned because everyone that subscribes to this channel will be doing a DJI Mavic giveaway fairly soon after I get to 200 subscribers. So please like, share, and subscribe. And enjoy and fly safe. I don't know who those people are. Look at the footage though. Totally amazing. At any rate, please like, share, subscribe. I am out.